This is TomoNews for Thursday, February 9th.
Roach in your ear? Don't spray it like this guy did. A man in Chengdu, China decided to take matters into his own hands when a cockroach got stuck in his ear. The 60-year-old man, surnamed Li, was enjoying a good night's sleep when his slumber was disrupted by a sudden pain in his head. Suspecting a bug might be in his ear, Li tried removing the critter with a toothpick, then tweezers, before shaking his head violently from side to side. None of which worked. Li then sprayed pesticide into his ear, which killed the roach but caused his ear canal to swell up. What's more, the roach remained stuck in his ear. After putting up with the pain for 3 days, Li finally went to the hospital where a doctor removed the 1 centimeter long cockroach from his ear canal. The doctor later advised that anyone facing the same problem as Mr. Li should try pouring mineral oil into their ear to flush out the bug.
Man holds up shop with gun. Family fights as dog hides. This smoke shop in Elmwood Park, New Jersey was the site of an odd encounter on February 2nd, when a man threatened to hold up the store owners by pulling out a flare gun at the counter and then loading it in front of them. In this video, when a fight breaks out between the rough customer and the family, keep one eye on the frightened family dog. Seems he's too scared to jump into the fray and has faith his masters will take care of the madman. Yeah, I'll be here behind the counter in case you need backup. Just let me know. It didn't take long for the store owners to wrestle the flare gun away from the man, and police showed up seconds later to arrest him. 33-year-old Gabriel Velez, who we must say takes a hilarious mugshot, has been charged with robbery, possession of a weapon for unlawful purposes, and resisting arrest. The owners took over the store only 3 months ago and will likely have more security in place in the event something like that ever happens again. Maybe start by hiring a new guard dog, perhaps?
YouTube and advertisers boycott Trump-related news. YouTube and YouTube advertisers don't seem to like Donald Trump. At TomoNews, we've noticed a pattern. Any video mentioning Donald Trump, no matter how innocuous, doesn't get advertising. Take, for example, this animation on Donald Trump's presidential limo, which has generated more than 800,000 views. Who would be offended by that? YouTube and advertisers, apparently. This video earned us a healthy revenue stream from advertising, but then Donald Trump announced his controversial executive order banning travel from 7 Muslim countries, and advertising revenue plummeted. YouTube has completely demonetized the video. We checked other videos featuring Donald Trump and noticed a similar pattern. This video about the hair loss drug Propecia earns just 10% of what a normal video would get because the word Trump appears in the video's headline and metadata. And it doesn't matter if your video is for or against Trump. Just mention his name and YouTube punishes you by not giving you advertising. YouTube maintains a list of negative keywords. If you mention ISIS in your headline or metadata, you won't get advertising. YouTube apparently thinks Donald Trump is as bad as ISIS. It's no secret that Google has joined other Silicon Valley companies in opposing Trump's immigration ban. But we never thought Google would enact an advertising boycott on Trump-related news. That's bad for everyone.
Woman crushed by tree when homemade zipline fails. The life of a young mother of 3 ended in a freak accident involving a homemade zipline and a tree that had had enough. On February 4th, Tammy McVeigh and her boyfriend, Joshua Jackson, were going for a hike near the Nehalem River in rural Oregon when they stumbled upon a homemade zipline. The seat was made of a wooden plank, connected to the wire by some rope. The couple hopped on the seat together and slid down, but the next thing they knew, one of the trees supporting the zipline uprooted and fell on them. Jackson somehow avoided major injury, but the same couldn't be said for McVeigh. The tree struck her skull, causing severe head trauma. The couple reportedly traveled so far along the path that rescue teams had to use ATVs and then hike 2 miles to reach them. In a bizarre twist, authorities arrested Jackson on an outstanding warrant in connection with a 2012 conviction for 4th-degree assault. Tammy McVeigh was 34 and leaves behind 3 children. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help her family.
How the Syrian regime executes thousands of captives. A human rights watchdog says 13,000 people were secretly tortured and executed by the Syrian government at a military jail near Damascus between 2011 and 2015. According to Amnesty International, blindfolded prisoners were brought after midnight to the White Building of the Sednaya prison, where they would be hanged in 2 execution rooms located in the basement. Prisoners queued at a desk in the first execution room, where fingerprints and last wishes were documented. Then they lined up at the steps to a platform until spaces became available. The second execution room is adjacent to the first execution room. There are 3 cells opposite the execution rooms. The second execution room has 20 nooses. Prisoners were pushed from behind so they would move forward and down the platform. Amnesty conducted first-hand interviews with 84 witnesses, including prison guards, officials, detainees, judges, and lawyers. The human rights watchdog said there are strong reasons to believe that the slaughter at Sednaya prison continues today. This robot pillow could be the key to a good night's sleep. A group of robotics and engineering students from the Netherlands have created a robot pillow, which they say improves sleep quality. The robot pillow, dubbed Somnox, is equipped with multiple high-sensitivity sensors and an artificial intelligence algorithm. The pillow can interpret whether the user is awake or in a deep sleep. The robot then uses the data to create a breathing rhythm that can induce the user to sleep within minutes. In the morning, the pillow emits a gradually increasing light to wake the user up. Somnox is still in the prototype phase, and it is not yet known when it will be available to buy. Mississippi set to allow death by firing squad for capital crimes. The Mississippi state legislature this week passed a bill that may lead to death by firing squad for prisoners sentenced to capital punishment. In other states that allow death by firing squad, the prisoner is typically hooded and strapped into a chair with a target placed on their chest. 5 gunmen are situated 25 feet away behind a brick wall with gun ports covered by black curtains. Shooters are typically equipped with a .30 caliber Winchester rifle. One rifle is loaded with a blank so that none of the gunmen know for certain who delivered the fatal shot. Once fired, the bullets hit the prisoner's lungs and heart, puncturing those organs and cutting off circulation to the brain. According to the Jackson Clarion Ledger, the last time Mississippi executed a prisoner was in 2012. That inmate was killed via lethal injection, but other executions have been held up over a federal lawsuit against the state concerning the constitutionality of execution drugs. Woman bitten while posing for photo with baby shark. Viral video coming out of Brazil this week shows us what happens when a numbskulled tourist decides to take some snaps with a baby shark. It all went down on the Brazilian archipelago of Fernando de Noronha, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and protected animal sanctuary. Apparently, the unidentified female thought it would be a good idea to take a photo with a shark. And while she was taking a snap, the little guy chomped on her hand. Why did the shark take a bite? Because that's what sharks do when they get manhandled. And then the woman tossed the little guy back in the water. The woman received 4 stitches for the bite wound. Brazilian authorities later fined the man and the woman the equivalent of $6,000 for animal cruelty.